about 2,000 prisoners all in one space, and one guard to count them.
30, 45, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 61.
The guard seems rather like a minion of those who are actually in control here. If Ronil breaks the law on the outside, he ends up in jail. Inside, he pays with his life. The one with the power to decide is known as the President, El Presidente. He is the boss in South Cotabato jail.
We have rules here and you will follow them. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Respect me and do what the marshals and I tell you. Then you'll be fine.
The hierarchy is clear. On top, the president and his helpers, the so-called marshals, armed with clubs. At the bottom, newbies, like Ronil. Otherwise, the only way to power is money. Prisoners with money can buy what they need to survive. Cigarette, food from the jail's kiosk, and above all, fresh water. Those who can't afford it have to drink groundwater. On the tropical Philippines, with an average temperature of 35 degrees Celsius, this is a dangerous proposition. It's easy to catch diseases like tuberculosis, and whoever gets sick gets locked away in total isolation due to fear of epidemics. A fear that one man in the jail doesn't have, Glecerio de Pedro. In the jail, he is known as El Presidente.
Number one,
First, people have to respect me. Then, I treat them well. If they listen to me and follow the rules, then I help them with their problems.
Glecerio de Pedro has been in South Cotabato jail for 13 years. In this time, he has become the most powerful man in the jail. The reason? His wealthy family. And wealth is both power and a status symbol.
I'm here for murdering my nephew. We were having an argument over property, and the whole family thought I was the problem. They wanted me to die real soon so that they could get the land. So I saved my own life. I had to kill my nephew. It was self-defense.
No verdict has yet been returned, and the president is waiting. But he is waiting with privileges that no one else has. He uses his status to operate a lucrative barter operation. He gives prisoners money, and in return, they give him televisions, cell phones, a custom-built bed, things that are technically prohibited. No one messes with the president and his marshals. Even the guards leave the most important job to the marshals, locking down the cells. It's 5 p.m., and about 2,000 prisoners have to be put back behind bars. Those who don't obey feel the whack of the club, or the power of the president, a system that seems to work, based on respect and fear.
I'm the overall checker and do the prep work for the guards. The prisoners trust and respect me. So do the guards.
The guards rely on the hierarchy that rules the jail. There'd be no way to keep the mass of prisoners under control otherwise. One level below the marshals in the hierarchy are the cell leaders. They count the prisoners again. No one can go missing. The newbie is starting to understand how the prison works. The guards must do only one small job: lock the cell doors and leave the jail. The prisoners spend the next 12 hours behind bars. A struggle for survival begins, a struggle for space, for air to breathe. There is no access to food or water. the prisoners must persevere in one of the most overcrowded jails in the world. A prison built for 600 inmates. At the moment, 3 times that number are behind bars here. About 70 people occupying about 100 square meters. The average temperature is a tropical, humid 35 degrees centigrade. Hardly anyone can sleep. They just have to wait it out, to distract themselves, to get through another night, to survive. For the newbie in extreme situation, it's Ranil's first night behind bars.
It's unbelievably hot. I can't breathe. I feel claustrophobic. I don't know how I'll make it.
The 35-year-old has no choice. He must persevere. If only for his 4 children and his wife, who are waiting for him on the outside. Night falls. Darkness settles over the jail. All the prisoners are behind bars, except for one group of people that is allowed to move around at night. The privileged few, El Presidente and his entourage. In their eyes, this class distinction is totally normal.
Pantay-pantay man. Ako lang kasi
Everyone is treated equally here. Everyone but me, that is.
Pati ang kuan, depende na yan kasi
I have a special status,
pantay-pantay ang
but all
treatment,
others
pero
are under
ang
my
pagkain
supervision
minsan,
and are
yung
equal.
may kaya-kaya, sila ang nagluluto.
Equality, clearly everyone defines it differently. One thing is certain, those who get on the president's good side escape the overcrowding.
When I got here in 2002, I wanted people to trust me. So I followed the rules. Worked hard to earn the trust of the guards and the president. It wasn't easy. I had to work hard to get their attention.
An unfair game, one that almost 2,000 prisoners can only sit and watch. But how did the jail get so inhumanly overcrowded in the first place? The reason is President Duterte's war on drugs in the Philippines. Duterte wants to clean the country up in a drastic way. Over a period of 6 months, he had 4,000 drug dealers murdered in broad daylight. The country has become a police state. Out of simple fear of being killed, in 2017, about 1 million drug dealers turned themselves into the police. And every day, the president throws hundreds of people behind bars. The prisons are bursting at the seams. But the Filipino justice system is not prepared in the least to deal with so many people. With over 700,000 pending trials and only 1,600 lawyers, a verdict can take years. Years in which the prisoners in South Cotabato jail must wait in suspense. A jail in which desperation, frustration, and the struggle for survival live side by side in the smallest space possible. Up to 100 prisoners at a time are stuffed into cells the size of shoeboxes. Massive overcrowding and nerve-wracking waiting on the daily fare. Privacy? No chance. And the hope of being released is zero. That's why South Cotabato Jail is one of the toughest prisons in the world. Only those who follow the rules survive in South Cotabato Jail. The biggest problem? The jail is utterly overcrowded. In only 2 buildings, designed for about 600 inmates, 1,618 prisoners are doing time. About 150 of them are in so-called punishment cells, cells that are always locked, for dangerous criminals, repeat offenders, or sick inmates. The oldest are in a separate wing for seniors. Also in a separate wing, apart from the men, are 400 women. Essential for survival are the jail's kitchen, the prayer room, and the visiting area, which is open once a week. The entire compound is patrolled by only 5 guards. And their hands are tied. 20 public servants against about 2,000 inmates. An unfair fight. Rodrigo Baludio has been a jailer at South Cotabato Jail for 18 years. It is his job to keep the peace. But he must always keep 3 things in mind: the danger to his men, corruption, and maintaining a distance between guards and prisoners.
I don't let the guards enter the compound. Their contact with the prisoners should be minimal. Some of the inmates could develop a personal relationship with them. No matter what crime they've committed. And that can lead to other problems.
That means one of the only jobs left is to monitor the outer walls. The guards must rely above all on security cameras and on the hierarchy within the prison walls, because the jail is ruled from within. For Baludio, that's a mental strain.
I'm always under pressure. Every time my phone rings, I get goosebumps. I know that a call means problems, that something has happened inside, and I have to solve the problem as fast as possible.
Fights, escape attempts, hunger strikes. Baludio has seen it all. But he can't change the situation in the jail.